boy, you got to chill. You know who this is, Mike?
I can't hear nothing.
You can't
I mean,
hear
I can hear
nothing.
you, but I don't hear the song or whatever you're playing. It's like coming in and out.
You don't know who that is. You can't hear it.
It sounds like Redman.
It is Redman. I just
Well,
wanted you to know.
I couldn't really hear it. Like I could hear his voice. That's the only reason I could really tell. But
I'm just gonna let you know. He just came out with this new mixtape with Jack Boy.
yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, buddy. I've been
Trash.
Nick. What?
I'm just playing.
Don't hate on my. Don't hate on my guy. Don't hate on my guy. You know this is my dude. Like, out of all the people in the world for hip hop, this is my guy. This is who I listen. I've had every album. Just so y'all know, every album. I'm a big Redman guy. Always have been. Always will be. That's just how it is. So what's happening, everybody? I'm Big Temp. That's Big Mike. We are the Cave Cast. Now I know y'all may have not seen our last video. We talked a lot of, you know what, about certain teams, one in particular. But we're going to talk about another team this week. As in the immortal words of Bubba Dub, who says, trash. That goddamn dumpster fire. And I'm just going to put it out there. Boy, some of y'all should just take y'all's jerseys for your team and
Throw
go
them away.
ahead. Just put them in the
Burn
closet
them.
till next year. Just put them in the closet till next year.
No, you need to. No, they need to just. They need to throw them motherfuckers away,
throw, throw them in the trash.
please. Especially with that
Trash.
dog shit hunter y'all have.
Oh my God. Oh my
That was an
God.
embarrassment. That was an
Hey,
embarrassment. If I was a fan of that team and I seen that, ain't no way.
man. It
Ain't no
really,
way.
it really is.
So unprofessional. And it's so unprofessional, bro. Like
Look,
Clark
all
Hunt
I,
would never do nothing like that.
here's what I'm gonna say. Y'all already know who the fuck I'm talking about. So
So don't act crazy. Y'all
when
don't
we
act
get
crazy.
when we
Y'all know
get
who we
to
talking about.
yeah, when we get to this team, I don't want to see no comments after this is all recorded and mixed and edited. I don't want to see no comments about from Cowboy fans because that's who the fuck we talking about. I want to hear no or
Cowgirl.
whatever you want to
They
call
the
them.
they the cowgirls.
I
You
don't want to
can't call
hear
them
it because
cowboys after that.
I've been big up in this team from the beginning of the season, saying I thought that they had a chance. And let me tell you something, boy. If y'all ain't nothing, boy.
Bro, look, their roster's not like bad. That's why I'm confused. Like now they're not. I know they got some areas they could be better, like especially on defense, like in the secondary,
I
and
get
they
it.
got some injuries. No, I
Can
get
we
it,
show
but at
some
the same
effort?
time,
Can we show some effort?
yeah, like it's like I don't know, man. I honestly don't think the team cares much for the coach either. Like I think the
Well,
coach is,
I've I've been saying that for a while. That coach should have been gone. He should have been gone. But with the talent that they
and
had
like,
there,
and here's the thing. I don't see when it comes to Dak. I'm kind of like 50-50 with him because I don't think this is all on Dak, but at the same time, he's not really doing anything to make it any better.
no. Do you
If that makes
know?
sense.
Do you know
Like
right now? He leads the league in red zone interceptions. He leads the league in red zone interceptions, and
that's usually when he throws them.
he has a number one, a true number one wide receiver. But let's be honest, CD has not been very good his goddamn self. CD has not been very good either. Okay, and I don't know what the disconnect is between him and Dak, but what I will say is this: it is not conducive to a very good playing relationship. Their problems that they have, you see it on the sidelines. I'm sure it's seen in the locker room. And I'm sure that other members of the team, you know, they've had to, basically keep things in line and try to keep people, hey, look, all I can tell you is this. If your number one receiver is not gelling with your number one or your QB1, there are going to be problems in paradise. It's simple as that.
Yeah.
It's
And
not
like,
gonna it's not gonna
if
work.
I
It's not
remember
gonna
right,
work.
I thought I seen them going at it on the sideline one game. I
Oh,
don't know if
they
it was this
was
past game
it was the
or like
last
one before.
it was the one before, right? So the game before, that's when, some words were kind of exchanged. You couldn't really tell exactly what was said. I mean, you try to read lips, whatever, but hey, I'm not
Yeah,
gonna go.
it didn't look like it was. It didn't look like it was like anything out of line, but it did look like they exchanged some words though. But
Yeah.
that's something to
So,
take note of when you got these kind of situations going on.
well, what we're gonna do is we're gonna start. Since last week we didn't start with our Chiefs, we're gonna start with our Chiefs this week, right? So, to make it short and sweet, it's Niners week.
You
It's
know what's funny
Niners
about that?
week.
Like, because
What?
I was talking to this Niners fan earlier, man, on Twitter. Who's in the Twitter space, and he's just on and about talking about, if we win, if we lose, our season's over, and if we win, we're back in it, and all this kind of stuff. And I'm just like, so basically, you're saying that the Chiefs are y'all Super Bowl because we're not even in y'all's division for you to be saying that if
Uh,
y'all lose, that y'all season is over. That doesn't even make sense. But
here's.
I mean, hey,
I
that's what
mean,
you're
I get
saying.
it, but at the same time, I'm thinking to myself, look, there's still
You need to
three
worry
and
about your
three.
division first.
Yeah,
You got to
worry
worry about
about
your division first. Yeah,
win
just
your
worry about your
division.
side first.
Yeah, don't worry about this. So here's the deal. Niners and Chiefs square off this week. The Chiefs are coming off of a bye. The Niners are coming off of a little extra, uh,
Yeah, they got
a
a few
little,
extra little
yeah, a
days.
couple extra days. The 49ers wound up defeating the Seattle Seahawks on Thursday Night Football. And
They got
that
lucky.
game, I really thought Seattle had a chance. And they didn't
They
play well.
did.
They
They
did, but
did, and then he
yeah,
threw the pick. I was
yeah.
like, oh man,
So the
that was
Niners
tough.
win. They win that game 36-24. Here's the deal. 49ers offense is averaging 27 points per game. They're tied for eighth in the league. Their defense is third, right? They're third, right? Here's the on third downs. Excuse me, I don't know what I'm talking about. So third downs in the league, they're tied for six, right? Now here's the deal. The team itself is not any different than what it was before, right? They're not any different. They've had a couple of injuries. Debo Samuels, he had his injuries. I want to say, oh God, why
They
can't I
say
think?
Mason was hurt. I don't know if he's gonna play this game,
Yeah,
but
I
I
don't know
know
if he's
he had
going
a
to play
little
this
injury
game.
going too.
But Purdy played well this past game against the Seahawks. He had 255 yards and three touchdowns, 129.3 for his rating, right? And Brandon Ayuk, he played well. Samuels played very well this game. Kerry Kittle, he caught a couple touchdown. They played well. Now, here's the deal. Right now, would you say that the 49ers are the best team in the NFC?
No,
Okay,
if we're
so
going by in these first 6 weeks,
yes.
hell no,
Okay,
hell no.
now,
Sorry,
so
no.
they've got the same core, still got the same core. The only difference is Christian McCaffrey is not playing, right? So that kind of puts a little bit more pressure back on those other receivers to come out and have bigger games, right? So Debo, for example, 5 targets, 3 receptions, 102 yards, and a touchdown, right? He
I'm
had
not buying that.
he had a good game. I can't knock it.
He
He
did.
he
Yeah, he
did have a
definitely had a
good
good game.
game. Uh,
Ayuka's been playing well too.
yeah. So but this was actually I think Samuel's first game, no, second game back, right? Because he was hurt. George Kittle, six targets, 5 receptions, 58 yards, 2 touchdowns. Right. Uh, Not an crazy game or nothing like that, but they're going against the Chiefs, and right now the Chiefs are having problems against tight ends. But that's because they're taking everybody else away on the field,
Yeah, I don't
right?
think I'm gonna be honest with you. I think Spags is doing that by design. I
He
don't
is.
think. I think he would. I think he would rather the tight ends go crazy
Yeah,
and
I
then
think.
lock everybody else.
Yeah, I
So
think you're absolutely right. Now, with that being said, they did all this and they had a good game against those guys. Jordan Mason, the guy who's replaced Christian McCaffrey, may not play in this game because he did get hurt in this game against the Seattle Seahawks. He had 9 rushing attempts for 73 yards, 8.1
he's
yards
played
per
very
carry.
well.
He's played very well in place
Very
of
well.
Christian
Very well.
McCaffrey.
They're missing
Now,
2 kickers too, if I'm not mistaken.
yeah, I think you're right. I think you're right.
Yeah, because
Uh,
they're both hurt. They're both hurt, if I remember right.
yeah, I think you're right. So, with that being said, they're going to be coming up against I would, I might argue the best defense in the league right now, right? In the Chiefs.
Yes.
Now,
I'm close.
Mahomes is going to be going against a pretty good defense, and they're going to have something that they're going to try to prove something to themselves, right? Fred Warner and them, they all remember what happened to them the last couple times that they've played the Chiefs. It has not been pretty as far as, the outcome. Mahomes, however, has not been Mahomesian as far as touchdowns and what he's been able to do, but a lot of that is attributed to wide receivers not being available. He lost his 2 best wide receivers. So on the season, Mahomes has got 6 touchdowns and 6 interceptions. His rating for the year is 88.9. Okay, not Mahomesian from what we've seen in the
I'm gonna be
past.
honest with you. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't even think it's the fact that he's missing his receivers. I don't even think that's what it is. I just think Mahomes he was just in a little slump, and
Could
then
be.
there's been some unfortunate plays, right? So like
Oh
it's
yeah,
like the one that Juju,
yeah,
like the one in the red zone with Juju. That was just an unfortunate
it
interception right
was.
there.
It definitely was.
So and then Mahomes has had times where he's kind of thrown the ball where he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe
Yeah,
underthrown it just a tad. He's still
pressing,
trying to get used to. Yeah,
pressing a little
he's
bit
still trying to get
sometimes.
used to how. Yeah, he's still trying to get used to how. Like him and Worthy are still working that out. And I'm gonna be
Yes,
honest with you. I'm gonna tell y'all right now. This after this bye week, I'm expecting a huge jump in productivity from Xavier Worthy,
you probably will.
especially if they don't make a trade
Oh my
at
God.
least within like the next like couple weeks. I don't know, but
And we'll
I don't.
we'll get we'll get into that here
Yeah, we'll get
after
into
this.
that. So
Uh,
like, I think they're gonna have to because Dad, this is the thing. I was looking back and go. I actually went back and watched some of those the last couple games. Xavier Worthy is open all the time, and
and a lot of
I'm
that is
not, and it
because
doesn't matter what. It doesn't even matter what situation it is. He is getting open. He's
the thing
creating separation.
what's happening though
Like
is that
it's crazy.
the tackles are letting too much pressure in, and Mahomes is
Yes,
he's
that's
having
part of
to
the reason.
rush. So
Yeah, that is part of the reason for sure.
Kelsey, you know, is
Kelsey gonna be Kelsey, man.
he's
I
gonna
ain't
be
worried.
fine. I think right now in the season he's averaging 4.8 receptions a game, about 45 yards per game right now. But he's going to be fine. I think you'll see, he'll still be able to perform as the season goes on. That play he made that last week against the Saints, man, that little toss
Oh,
back,
I want to give a
man.
shout. I want to give a shout out. I want to give a shout out to
What's
Noah
up?
Gray.
Oh yeah,
Noah Gray. Hey man, keep doing what you doing. That's all I want to say. Because
yeah.
that dude comes in clutch all the time. He catches the ball. That's one thing he won't do is drop the goddamn ball. He
Well,
gonna come in. He
you're
gonna
gonna
catch the
see
ball.
you're gonna see a lot of
He
him.
has
It's
been balling, bro.
One of the things I will say is that was a bright spot, and I hope it continues, especially in the absence of Rasheed Rice and Hollywood Brown, is that Juju Smith-Schuster in our last game, 8 targets, 7 receptions, 130 yards. I hope that he can continue to act, in this manner and get out there and perform like he performed in that last game. I hope so, right? I don't know what the future holds, but I will say he played lights out in that game. Now, this is
Should have
the
had a
thing.
touchdown.
Yeah, he should have had a touchdown. This is the thing
Should have had a
about these
touchdown.
two teams. They are familiar with each other. But we have a receiver that they don't know much about, right? And like you were talking about, Xavier Worthy, 2.4 receptions a game, 35.8 yards per game, and 2 touchdowns receiving right now, right? But he also has 2 rushing touchdowns, right? I think this kid is dynamic enough that you can use him in a multitude of ways, and he can break. He's a game breaker. He can be a game breaker, right? But in order for them to do that, they've got to be able to protect him, right? They got to be able to protect Mahomes. Mahomes has taken 9 sacks this season, right? And in 5 games, he's had 9 sacks. It's on 26.5 QBP percentage, right? That means on any and all of the percentage of dropbacks and rushes, right? So right now, he's getting hit on certain plays, but not at the same clip as other QBs. He's still getting hit less than other QBs,
Mm-hmm.
but a lot of that is because his ability to get out of the pocket. Now,
Hey, believe it or not, he's actually has like I want to say it's like top two in terms of time in the pocket or something like that this year.
yes, yes,
And it's crazy.
and,
And that's
and
the thing, Jawan. I was just gonna say real quick, Jawan Taylor. Listen, if he would just clean up the penalties,
oh man,
because here's the frustrating thing about Jawan, man. If he's actually played well outside of the damn penalties.
well,
If
here's
there
the
was
problem.
if he hadn't had a penalty all season, let's say he had one or two,
Yeah,
I don't think we would be talking about Juwan Taylor right now as far as like him fucking up in like certain situations because he's actually like I think because I was reading what was it yesterday, he's
yeah,
like amongst like the top 10 in terms of pass blocking at the tackle
yes,
spot or something
yes,
like that. He
yes,
just got to
and
clean up the penalties,
he's
bro.
just got
Just
to clean it up.
stop.
And the core of that line, that offensive line, that middle, right? As long as they're still doing what they do, which is maul the hell out of guys, right?
Right.
We'll be okay. Just make sure the tackles are doing their job and not getting penalties, right? Also, with that being said, this, like I said, it's Niners week, right? I'm looking forward to seeing how many times they actually run Kareem Hunt in this game. On the season, he's only played for 2 games, right? Been with us for 2 games. He's averaging 4.2 yards per carry, 85.5 yards per game. Kareem Hunt last game had 27 carries. Do you think he's going to get that many carries this game?
Nah, I think they're gonna split it. I think they're gonna split it more with him and Still. I think Still's
Yeah.
gonna get a little bit more burn, especially after the bye week. I think Reed is gonna want to get these other guys involved a little bit more
Do you think
and get them
Clyde is going
used
to
to.
Clyde going to be
I don't
available?
know if he. I don't think so. I not yet.
Okay.
I know they got 21 days
Yeah.
because they activated them with the 21-day thing or whatever.
Yeah.
Um, that's the. I don't know. They might. But if I don't think they gonna, I don't know.
It's hard to
It
say.
just depends.
It's
It
hard to
really
say.
is. I don't know because
Well,
Kareem has played well when he's played.
yes, he has. And that's what but I don't want us to wear him out to.
Right,
I
right,
don't
right. Of course.
I don't want us to
Yeah,
wear him
that's why I
out.
said I don't think Kareem is going to get that many carries this game. And here's a funny thing. Man, I was talking to dude on Twitter and he was even saying they could bring Clyde and he could be like a slot receiver.
Yeah.
Like You put him out there, and he can, because Clyde. That's one thing that Clyde has that their other running backs don't really have.
He can't
Maybe,
catch the ball. He can't catch the
and he
ball.
can run routes, and he can run
Yeah.
routes. So
Yes.
like Kareem's not really that kind of guy. I think he can do it more than the others can, but like Clyde clearly is the better of all the other ones as far as like running routes with the pass game and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
you could do
Well,
that. I mean,
we'll have to just wait and see what the future holds, especially for Clyde. And I'm looking forward to Niners week. Chiefs, we're on the road this week, so we will see what happens. But I really believe that the Chiefs are going to come in and take the victory.
hey,
It's just right now. I think that when people play the Chiefs, there's always this little doubt in the back of the team's head, because of how Mahomes has done people when they're up, if they get a lead. And like you said the other week, if
it's
the
almost like the
game's on,
49ers should get the lead. Or at least 7-point lead. Don't do it. Don't get to that 7-point mark.
hey, if y'all get up by 10, just think to yourself,
Just
yeah,
know.
we're fucked.
Hell. That's terrible.
Hey, just
That
fumble
is
the
terrible.
ball. Just fumble. Don't score. We can
Do
go up by
not kick the
6.
field goal. Yeah, don't kick the field goal if you got seven. If you got to score a touchdown, you about to go up 10. You better go for it. Don't do it.
Well,
That is crazy.
this week also marks the Battle of Ohio. The Bengals versus the Browns. Oh God. What a better game this got to be a better
Bro,
game.
the Browns gotta be bro, they are a joke of a franchise.
I listen. Here's the deal. Last week,
Nick Chubb need to just come out and come
man,
on
he
over here now.
look. Last week the Bengals played the Giants in New York, and I'm going to tell you, I was unimpressed
I'm not impressed at
with the
all.
Bengals. I thought the game would be close. I did think, however, that the Giants would give themselves an opportunity to win, and they could have. They could have gave themselves an opportunity. But Danny Dimes is trash. Let's just be honest. He is horrible.
I mean, let's be for real. How often can we count on Joe Burrow running for a 54-yard touchdown?
Man, that was the biggest
That gotta be
offensive breakdown.
that was the most random shit I've ever seen in my life. And he's slow as shit. I thought he's slow. Like, and then, bro,
I'm sitting
and
there
the way
watching
he
him.
runs,
I'm sitting there watching him run, and I'm sitting there with nobody was over there when he ran through that hole. Right? I'm
no,
sitting
it
there
was only
looking at.
that safety that was deep. That was the
Yeah,
only one that was
I'm
out
sitting here
there.
looking at this, and by the time he got to the end zone, I was like, "Damn, Mahomes would have already been there 5 seconds ago."
No, seriously. No, seriously. And I've been telling people Mahomes faster than what people think. Like,
Yes.
Mahomes got some wheels on him, man. For
So
real.
last week, Burrow against the Giants in Week 6 had 208 yards, 7.4 yards per attempt, and an 89.6 rating. Right? He did have a rushing touchdown, which we talked about, 54, 55-yard rushing touchdown.
It was something like that.
You
Yeah.
know, it. I still can't believe he got that shit.
That was just so random.
Yeah.
I was just like,
Versus the blitz so far this year,
come
because
on.
the Giants did blitz the shit out of him. But versus the blitz this season, 5 touchdowns Burrow has and 132.1 rating. It makes him third in the NFL, right?
That's pretty good.
It's
If you
pretty
blitz
damn.
them, don't.
It is
That's
very
pretty
good.
damn good.
Yeah. So there's this thing that I look at when it comes to this, and I say to myself, the line, it did not play very well, but he did play very well, right? The passing defense of the Browns are horrible, right? 103.3 rating allowed to all wide receivers on their passing defense. 103.3. There is a problem in that city, right? As far as that franchise goes, they are
Yeah,
bad.
go ahead and send Miles Garrett on over here to the Chiefs,
Yeah,
and then send Nick Chubb.
they're not going to do that. They're not going to do
Or just
that.
send Garrett. Just send Garrett. Could you imagine Garrett with Chris Jones
Yeah.
and Omenahu? Oh my God!
I'm just saying that's the thing that you're going to have to be wary of. There's 7 targets, 7 receptions that were available to T. Higgins this past week. He had 77 yards, right? And the thing about it is, in this game, I actually thought that they were actually going to go to Jamar Chase more, right? They did go to him, and but none of those receivers had a touchdown. Not T. Higgins, not Jamar Chase.
Not because Burrow got the rush. They had because Burrow got a rushing touchdown, and so did Chase Brown.
Yeah,
If I remember
yeah,
right.
yeah. So
So
Chase
that's
Brown,
14 points right
yeah,
there.
yeah. So if I remember right, I want to say that T. Higgins had 77 yards, and I also want to say that Jamar Chase had 5 receptions. I want to say he had 5 receptions for 72 yards. So they both played.
Yeah, they only scored. They only scored 17 points. So it was
Yeah,
those 2 touchdowns and a field goal.
yeah. So
Yeah.
2 touchdowns and a field goal. So Chase Brown had 10 attempts, 53 yards, 5.3 yards per carry, and a touchdown. Not great, but it was good as far as per attempt. But they didn't really run the ball the whole lot, right? They're going to be playing
And T.
against.
Higgins didn't have a bad game.
No, he didn't. But they're going to be going against the Browns defense, right? And their rush defense of the Browns last week against the Eagles, who they just got annihilated. Not annihilated. They just got the Eagles should have won by more. The Browns put up a good
The
effort.
Eagles are overrated, and
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if they're gonna get beat in the first round if they make the playoffs.
Yeah.
Like,
So
I don't.
last week against the Browns, against the Eagles, the Browns gave up to Saquon Barkley 47 yards, 2.6 yards per carry. Right now, I think Barkley is a better runner of the ball than Brown is. Right.
Oh
And
yeah,
I
it's not even
don't
close.
know if I would say that they're going to actually play well as far as the run goes against the Browns defense. I think that they're going to be able to stop them running the ball, and that can make the Bengals one-dimensional, right? So I think that when it comes down to it, if you can make the Bengals one-dimensional, you can actually take some things away from them as far as, hey, look, since they're not going to run the ball, we're going to make sure we keep a guy on every receiver tight. We're going to make sure we're spying Burrow, right? We're going to collapse this pocket as much as we can and try to get home. And you already know that his line is not very good, and Myles Garrett is coming, right? So
To the Chiefs.
I think that's just how you do this. This is how you win that game. Uh,
Yeah, I agree.
the Bengals, you know, they're expected to win this game against the Browns, right? And let's be honest, Deshaun Watson, he has looked, like I said, pedestrian.
Hey, I'm gonna be honest with you. You know what's crazy about him?
What?
Because it's I know he had so he had the situation with the Texans. We all know about that, right?
Yeah.
So he didn't play for a few years. Okay, whatever. He goes to the Browns. The fall off is crazy though, because he hasn't had like a significant injury or nothing like that. Like, has he? Or am I tripping?
Well, he had that one where he was in Houston, but it wasn't significant. He wasn't out.
Yeah, it wasn't. Yeah, it wasn't like he wasn't playing games because of an injury though. Like
No.
for like a significant amount of time,
No.
he just completely fell off, bro. Deshaun Watson, we all thought Deshaun Watson. He was in talks with Mahomes at one point, like when he was with the Texans.
Yeah, young.
Those were the
QBs.
two.
Yeah, the young
Yeah,
QBs.
like
Yeah.
I'm really confused on the fall off, bro.
Well,
Like,
This past game,
did he just get? I don't know.
This past game
It's
against the
weird.
Eagles, he threw for 168 yards. He had 7.3 yards per attempt, 90.5 rating, right? Here's the deal. He hasn't been the same Deshaun Watson since he left Houston, right? And a guy I was watching the other day said this, and I damn near died listening to him. He said, you know what y'all need to do? Y'all need to go ahead, them blue tents that y'all got on the sidelines for the concussion protocol for injuries. You need to go ahead and set up a couple of those and make sure there's a massage table.
I already know what you about to say.
And every
This
time
is crazy. Look at this. Dad, just in 2020, he had 4,800 yards, 33 touchdowns, and 7 interceptions.
wow.
That's an elite season, bro.
That is an elite season. That is a damn sure elite season, right?
I
And
mean,
but
even the year before that, he had 3,800 yards, 26 touchdowns, 12,
it's something
12
to
picks.
it's something to do with the Browns organization though. The Browns
It's gotta
organization,
be. It's
they're
gotta
just
be, bro.
cursed, man. They just I don't know what it
Is it?
is that
You
they
make a
did.
good point because even you make a good point though because even Baker Mayfield is looking like a goddamn. Listen, he
Thank
could be
you.
up for MVP
Yes.
at this point. You see what he's doing? Because
Wow.
we all thought because we was talking about how we could possibly get Mike Evans, right? And he
Yeah.
decided to stay, right? We
Yeah.
just like, what you staying there for? Y'all ain't gonna do nothing.
Yeah.
Teams in the NFC, bro. Man, it's got to be the Browns, bro. And then like people they'll bring up the Panthers when he played with the Panthers, but I'm like the Panthers ain't no different than the Browns, bro.
Yeah.
The Panthers are a sorry organization as well. Then he goes to the Buccaneers with a decent team, got a good coach. The culture there is much better, especially after Brady. They've kind of got that established now.
Yeah.
Bro, Baker Mayfield is balling, bro.
Yeah. And
They just
here's
put up a 50. I just put up a 50 piece against the damn
the Saints.
Saints.
Yeah. Let me ask you something. So I'm looking at this, and I seen this today anyway, and it says that the Bengals offense has given up 31 sacks already this season.
I'm gonna be honest with you.
Can you look that up real quick and tell me if that's true or not?
You said 31 sacks.
31 sacks taken this year.
I don't believe that.
That
I
can't
don't
be
believe
real.
that. That'd be plastered all over ESPN if that was the case. Hold
I'm
on, I'm
just
about to look.
saying, if that's the case, if that is the case, y'all need to be ashamed of yourselves, Bengals.
Well, not if that's true. Joe Burrow ain't gonna be playing much longer. I'm gonna tell you that right now. That's why he always hurt.
31
I'm about
sacks.
to look.
There's no way in hell.
There's
No way.
Hold on.
I refuse to believe that. I refuse to believe that he has been sacked 31 times already this season.
2024. He's been sacked 15 times.
Okay, I was about to say there's no way in hell that
Because there's no way. Because his highest year in sacks was 51 in 2021. So you tell me they got more than half of that in 5 games, bro? Come on, man.
I was getting ready to fucking say you got to be
Who said
shitting
it was
me.
a Bengals fan? It was a Bengals fan that said that shit.
I won't. I'm not gonna say it was on somebody's post, and I was like, you got to be shitting me.
Man,
So-
they love over exaggerating shit though.
I will say this for the Bengals themselves: Trey Hendrickson so far this season has 5 sacks, 10 QB hits, and 5 tackles for loss for the Bengals. Right?
He's a stud.
He's been playing his ass off so far. That he's getting a sack.
He's the
per
only
game.
bright spot. He's the only bright spot on that defense.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I won't say that because I like Cam Taylor-Britt as far as the athleticism.
Yeah,
that
he's
he
not
does.
bad.
You know,
Yeah, he's not bad. He's not bad.
there's the thing, when it comes down to it, nobody really cares about this game except for people in the Ohio Midwest region, right? And I don't know if there's going to be, very much of a fallout in this game if the Bengals actually lose to the Browns. But then again, it could be.
Hey, I'm gonna just mention this real quick too. So you talking about Burrow sacks, right?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna be, and I've been saying this. I do think part of that is on him because I think he holds the ball longer than he should sometimes,
Yeah.
and he tries to, that was one of the knocks on him as far as that goes.
Yeah.
But check this out. So these are his sack numbers since he's been in the league. So first year 32,
Yeah.
then 51, then 41.
Yeah.
Then they went back down to 24 and then 15 so far this year. Now I'm gonna read you Mahomes' sack numbers,
Okay.
and it's just put this in perspective. Where is it? Where'd it go? Oh, I was just looking at it. Where'd it go? Is this it? Oh, here it is. It's right here.
Okay.
So first year, the 2018 year, because he didn't
Uh-huh.
really play it, whatever. 26 sacks,
Okay.
17 sacks, 22,
Okay.
28, 26, 27, 9.
9 is this year.
Not even close. Yeah,
9
that's
is this
this
year.
year.
Okay.
Not even close to the amount
No.
that Burrow has had.
Ooh, thank
And
God.
Mahomes has had some bad lines. Like I don't know where people got that he's always had a good offensive line. That is
Yeah,
not true.
that's not true.
So
Do y'all not remember this man running for his life in the Super Bowl against
man,
Tampa Bay?
and I think, and that's the thing. Mahomes is better at eluding sacks and
Yes.
avoiding sacks as well. So I think that's part of it as well.
Well,
But it's just an interesting stat too.
like I said, I don't think anybody's going to be up for this game as far as the Ohio game, Bengals versus Browns. But we wanted to cover it because we don't like the Bengals. So anyway, with that being said, we move on to the next game. And this is a battle in the NFC North, and I think it's going to be a banger. I really do. The Detroit Lions are traveling to meet the Minnesota Vikings on the road, right? And this game, let's just be honest, Detroit's coming off of a monster performance against them lousy ass Cowboys.
Yeah, are we really surprised though? Like
I
the
mean,
Cowboys are
not
just
not
dog water, bro.
really, but come on, can you put up some fucking points? Can you do? Hey,
I'm gonna be honest with you. The Cowboys have no excuse to not put up points with that
oh
offense. I'm
God.
sorry.
So Detroit
There's no excuse.
destroyed, absolutely destroyed the Cowboys, 47-9.
To 9.
47. They almost put up a 50 piece. Now in this game, they did.
It should have been more than that.
Oh, it should have been. It damn sure should have been.
It should have been. Like they was playing with them. They ran a reverse trick play with the offensive tackle, bro.
Yes.
That is so disrespectful.
It's like, hey, let's see if we can do this. Oh shit, we can.
Bro, I seen that. I was like, oh man.
All I'm gonna say
Could you imagine
is,
somebody doing that to the Chiefs?
man,
The
listen.
defense would take that. They'd take that shit personal. They'd be like,
I'm telling you. Well,
you
Detroit,
want to do what? That's crazy.
Detroit, they are coming off of a big win against the Cowboys, and they did wind up getting a big crucial piece hurt in that game. Aiden Hutchinson is out, fractured.
Man, did you see that?
Man, that was horrible.
Did you see the video?
Yes, that was horrible.
Bro.
So it doesn't look like he'll be back anytime this season. That is a big piece on the board for them that is now not available, right? So to me, I'm thinking, okay, how does this really affect them as far as that defensive line goes, right? Because he was their pass rush guy, right? Their big pass rush guy. Now they're on the road. They're going into Minnesota, and Minnesota is so far this year undefeated, right? And this is a rivalry game. Detroit. This is a division game. Sam Darnold, Cinderella coming out doing his thing. The Detroit Lions are averaging 30.2 points per game. That's first in the NFL. Their third down conversion rate is 7th. They're 7th in the league on third down conversions, right? But they are the number one scoring team in the league right now at 30.2 points per game. So that offense is doing what it's supposed to be doing. They're scoring points. They're very dynamic, especially with that two-headed monster in the backfield with Gibbs and Montgomery, right?
Man, Montgomery is a damn problem, bro.
Yes.
I like Gibbs. Gibbs is great, but Montgomery has been.
He's been something else.
Trying to figure out why we didn't get him. God damn.
I'll put it like this. Jared Goff in last week's game against the Cowboys, 315, 3 tutties, 153.8 rating. This is the second game, back-to-back game, where he had a 150-plus rating. This is the second game in a row. 150.
Oh, that offense.
They're humming.
That offense is loaded. I want you to think about something. They probably got the best offensive line in the league.
They probably do.
By far. I think they do. Like if across the board, they got the best offensive line in the league. You got two stud running backs, and then you got Amon St. Brown and Jamison Williams,
Yeah.
and then you got Laporta. Is it Laporta?
Laporta, yeah,
That plays
Laporta
for
at
them
tight end.
at the
Yeah.
tight end spot,
Yep.
bro. The offense is loaded, bro.
Yeah. And
Like,
and Amon Rob St. Brown is not really having to do a whole hell of a
no.
lot because last
Mm-mm.
week against the Cowboys, he had 4 targets, 4 receptions for 37 yards and a touchdown. They didn't overwork him. They didn't overwork him, right? Because they didn't have to. They really didn't have to.
Nope.
So they're actually keeping him fresh in these games. Tim Patrick for the Lions, 3 targets, 3 receptions, 68 yards. Uh, I mean, they've got weapons. Khalif Raymond, 6 targets, 4 receptions, 73 yards. Uh, I mean, everywhere you look, Jamison Williams, 4 targets.
That's what I'm saying, bro.
Yeah,
They got that offense is
yeah.
loaded.
So
It's
he
crazy,
had
bro.
he had Jamison Williams 4 targets, 3 receptions, 76 yards, and a touchdown. So they've been doing everything they're supposed to do. Now,
Oh,
mind you,
he's got everything he need on that offense.
oh, he does. He
Literally.
absolutely does. And what I will say is this: they didn't do much as far as throwing to the tight end and Sam Laporta, but what they did was they went and did that fucking reversal flea flicker, right? You know, that
Man.
to fucking Sam Laporta. He had 1 target, 1 reception, 52 yards, and it was a touchdown. This was utterly embarrassing what they did.
That's disrespectful, bro.
It's utterly
That's like them doing that.
embarrassing.
That's like them doing that with Wanye Morris or some shit like that. It's one thing
Yeah.
if you pass up, like you do a little fake, and then the offensive lineman goes out for the kind of like the Chiefs did. They ran a reversal fake
Wow.
with the fucking offensive lineman. Bro.
Yeah, that was the
Had
other
him in
one.
the open field. That was crazy.
So they're playing the Vikings this week, right? And the rush game is going to be in a full effect. Like we said, they got a two-headed monster back there, right? Jameer Gibbs, 12 attempts last week against the Cowboys, 63 yards, 5.3 yards per carry. He, ever since he came out of Alabama, Mike was saying it, was a stud. He liked him when he seen him. I did too. I thought he was nasty when he came out of Alabama.
Talking about Jameer?
Yeah, Jameer Gibbs.
Yeah, he reminds me. He reminds me of a slightly bigger frame, Jamal Charles. That's what he reminds me of.
Yeah.
And his play style is pretty similar. So
Yeah. David Montgomery, the other monster that's in that backfield, 12 attempts, 80 yards, 6.7 yards per carry, and 2 tutties, right?
that offensive line, man, I'm telling you.
So they're doing damage. The offensive line is gaping just fucking big holes for these guys to run through. Uh, the 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 offense is nice. Now, here's the deal. Minnesota's defense isn't a slouch, right? Minnesota had a bye last week. They didn't play nobody, right? So they're coming into this game fresh, going to be ready to play divisional game. Sam Darnold on the year has 11 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, and has a 103.4 rating on the season, right? Kind of a, nobody's seen this coming. Nobody, right? So to me, I think, okay, he's played some pretty good games this year. Let's put it like this. The Detroit Lions this past week against the Cowboys, 4 sacks, 11 QB hits. They do have a good defense. I can't even knock them, right? The Minnesota Vikings, however, are they going to be able to run the ball very well? Because if I'm not mistaken, didn't they just make a trade to pick up Cam Akers?
Yeah, they did.
From the Houston Texans, right?
Sure
So
did.
I'm wondering if that's going to be a problem for them, running the ball, and that's why they went out and got Cam Akers. Because you can't be one-dimensional against a team like Detroit. You can't. So, I'm going to be honest with you. I think Detroit is going to wind up winning this game against them. even though I think the best receiver on the field will be Justin Jefferson in this game, right? There's no question.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's not even
on the
debate on that.
season, Justin is averaging 5.2 receptions a game, 90 yards per game, and has 4 touchdowns on the season. I don't know, however, how well Sam Darnold is going to actually hold up against that Lions defense. So there, it's
Wait,
gonna.
you think their defense is like that?
I
The
think that
Lions?
because they can't really run the ball, I don't think they run the ball as well.
I'll
Aaron
be honest
Jones.
with you,
Aaron Jones has been
man. Not
has been playing well. He's averaging 70 yards per game, about 5 yards per carry, and he's got 1 touchdown on the season. But you can't overload him like that. You remember, he takes he's been hurt a lot, which is why part of the reason why Green Bay actually let him go is because he missed a bunch of games. Right? You can't overload him like that.
yeah. I really think not having Hutchinson is gonna be ain't
It
gonna
will
be the
be
same,
big.
man.
It will be big. But
That's a huge loss. Like, and I know they still got because they just signed dude to an extension, the D tackle.
yes.
I can't think of his name right now, but you know what I'm
Oh,
talking about. He's
uh,
good. You know what I'm talking about.
damn it! What
I
is
think
it?
his last name starts with an N or something like that. I don't remember, but he's real good.
I'm trying to think of his name.
Um,
Shit. Uh, I can't
I
remember,
was just
but
looking at it too.
I will say I think that with Aiden being out, it does hurt them. It's a big cog. It's a big, you know, big
Alan
piece.
McKeel, that's his name.
Oh, okay, yeah,
Alan McNeil.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's a big problem for him not to be available to play. Right. I don't know what it's going to mean in this game, but I know over the long run of the season, it's going to hurt them. Right. Don't know where, don't know when, but it's going to hurt as time goes on. But I do think that Detroit can win this game. Now, it all depends on if the Minnesota Vikings can run the ball and keep that Detroit Lions offense or defense honest, right? So we'll just have to kind of wait and see. Uh, Next game up will be Denver versus New Orleans. And let's be honest, nobody gives a fuck
I
about
don't care
these
about
two
that shit.
teams.
We don't even need to talk about that.
No, nobody give a fuck about these two.
We don't give a goddamn. We don't
I'm
give a goddamn about
sorry who
that.
you are. It does not matter. I know y'all, there's probably a lot of Denver fans that they hated it now because I'm a Chiefs fan and I'm talking shit about it. But I don't care. I'm sorry. Don't nobody give a fuck about the Broncos. Don't nobody give a fuck about the Saints. Both these
So
teams
don't.
are not gonna look, they're not gonna do nothing.
Oh,
Can
they
we
midi
can we
juice.
straight trash can fire. That both
Midi,
these
midi juice.
the way that
Yeah.
the fucking Saints started off, you almost thought, have they
I
found?
didn't.
Yeah, have they found something? And then the bottom falls out. Derek Carr
Who did
shows
they
up.
play?
The real Derek Carr shows up.
Who did they play the first two games? You remember?
The Panthers and the Cowboys, if I remember right.
Oh, that's why they was 2-0.
We didn't know that. We didn't know about the
two,
Cowboys.
two other horrible teams, man. You could
Man.
have seen that coming.
Well, one of the good games that's going to be up because we're not going to talk about Denver versus the Saints
No,
is going to be
they have nothing
Houston
to say.
versus Green Bay. Houston's traveling to Green Bay. This is going to be a good game. This is going to be a very good game. I don't know if anybody got a chance to catch it last week, but the Texans won against the Patriots 41-21. That was Drake May's debut as a starting quarterback for the Patriots. Not too bad, but not too good. But the Texans came and handled business like they're supposed to. They're the better team.
Gotta start somewhere.
Yeah. So, but Green Bay also did its thing. I want to say the Packers. Yeah, they beat the shit out of the Cards, 34-13. So, one of the things that's going to be the key in this game.
Is Jordan Love not making dumb throws?
And
Because he be doing that.
well, true. And
Like,
is Nico Collins not still going to be playing in this? You know, he hasn't played, right? Uh, I will say, Jordan Love last week, 4 touchdowns. He did have an interception, but he also had 119.5 QB rating, right? So, but that was also against the Cardinals, who have, they're so fucking up and down. I can't tell you if they're good or if they're bad. Sometimes I can't even tell you if these motherfuckers even want to be on the field. Now, CJ Stroud, however, against the Patriots, which, like I said, they were supposed to win that game, 3 touchdowns. He also had an interception and a 100.5 rating in that game. Here's the deal. I don't know if here's my thing is Stephon Diggs plays well right now, but it's in the absence of Nico Collins. He's been getting more targets, right? So I want to say when they played Buffalo, he got more targets because Nico went out, right? In this game that he just played against the Patriots, 7 targets, 6 receptions, 77 yards, and a touchdown. But I also know because Nico's not playing, though he's going to get those targets, right? But you're playing against a pretty good Green Bay team, right? So if you're playing against a pretty good Green Bay team, it's not going to be as easy for him to get those targets, right? Tank Dell also helps with the receiving problem that Nico leaves that hole for. He's not there now. Tank Dell, 9 targets, 7 receptions, 57 yards, and a touchdown. But that's just those 2 receivers. One of the things that if this is going to be like a barn burner, this is going to be a bunch of points scored. The Green Bay Packers have a lot of receivers, a lot of good receivers, right? So I'm thinking to myself, okay, what's going to be the factor in this game? It's going to be the run game. Well, Joe Mixon last week against the Patriots, 13 attempts, 102 yards, 7.8 yards per carry, and a touchdown. Now, from what I'm understanding, and I could be wrong, but the Green Bay Packers are the leading rushing team in the league right now. Did you know that?
over the Ravens?
That's what I was hearing. I'm not for
Hold
sure.
on.
I didn't get a chance to do all my homework this week, man. I'm just
Hold
going
on, I
off the
gotta
top
look
of
that
my
up.
head right now.
Hey, hold on. You know what is a fact though is that the Chiefs have the #1 success rate at running the ball. Did you know that?
I did know that. I did know that.
Mm. And they're running under center more. Ooh,
Yeah.
ooh, with the running back.
Now the pass defense for the Texans is they've given up 12 touchdowns, 5 interceptions on the season though, 82.9 rating as far as what they're giving up as far as for a QB or per receiver, and only giving up 53.3% completion percentage. Now
They're #2, by the way.
so the Green Bay Packers are number
Packers.
2. Okay, so they
They're
must have dropped
#2.
after
The
last
Ravens are
game.
#1.
Okay, so it dropped after last game. So what I was saying is it's going to come down to the run game, right? Because these 2 teams, as far as receiving goes, I think they all have a bunch of great weapons. But I also think that this game is going to come down to who runs the ball better. And I'm going to be honest with you. I think that the Green Bay Packers might have just a slight edge over Houston in this game as far as running the ball goes. So,
Man, I don't know because they got
Damon Pierce, yes, I know Damon Pierce is back for
him and him and the other dude.
Google Wagale or whatever.
Mixon.
I can't never
Is
say.
Mixon playing or no?
Mixon is playing too, but a Google Walla, he was playing a lot. Mixon is back. I do know that if Mixon plays, he did play last week, but if he plays, this makes it a little bit more tighter, right? And since
Because Mixon, when he been playing, he been mixing shit. He been going lot. He been
yeah,
going crazy.
he has been.
He been going crazy.
The Houston Texans on the season, as far as their defense, their pass rush has got 19 sacks on the season, 43.1 QBP percentage. They're first in the league. I think that will play a big, major part in this game. And I also like the fact that young defense that they do have down there for the Houston Texans, it just seems they got this little fire in them, right? Will Anderson's a stud. I'm sorry, that dude's bad. He's a bad boy. He is a bad boy. And speaking, like I said, about the running game, Josh Jacobs for the Green Bay Packers last week, 18 attempts, 62 yards, 3.4 yards per carry. And like you said, they are the number 2 team in the league as far as rushing. So I think that this is going to be a very good game. And I, for one, am looking forward to watching that game. It's going to be a bunch of good games this coming week. It's going to be a couple of them I'm gonna really enjoy. One of them
There's only gonna be one. There's only gonna be one undefeated team by the end of the week, and that's gonna be the Chiefs.
There, you heard it. You heard it here first, people. You heard it here first, people. Hot take.
It's not even a hot take. It's just
a
fact.
hot take because some people hate the Chiefs. I was at the bank today. I had some old lady. I think she was probably about 74 talking about my Chiefs. Yes.
That's crazy.
I was like, wow, this is how we doing this?
The disrespect is real, man.
Man. Like I said, it's going to be a couple of good games this week, and I'm looking forward to it. One of the games I'm not looking forward to, and I'm probably not going to watch, is the Carolina Panthers versus the Washington Commanders.
Man,
it's
Commanders going to win that game.
Exactly. I'm not going to waste my time on watching that game. I'm not. It's not going to be something I want to do. I'll put it like this: the Commanders last week against the Ravens,
they should have won.
They should have, but they made a couple of mistakes. Jaden Daniels was 269 yards, 2 touchdowns, 110.3 rating against the Ravens. Played a very good game, a couple mistakes here and there, but I thought they still gave themselves a chance to win. They wound up losing that game, I want to say 23-30. Terry McLaurin in this game, 7 targets, 6 receptions, 53 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Terry McLaurin, quiet as kept, having a great season. Quiet as kept is having a great season, right?
As usual. Just don't get talked about.
The old man Zach Ertz, 5 targets, 4 receptions, 68 yards for the Washington Commanders. And I just don't, Austin Eckler doesn't get a lot of credit now that he's gotten older, but he's still got a little juice left in the tank.
Oh yeah, I would have. That was a guy. Remember, that was a guy I wanted the Chiefs to try to get.
Yeah,
remember?
He's still got a little juice left in the tank.
He is the ultimate. He is the ultimate backfield weapon, bro. Like,
yeah, and
that dude is a touchdown machine.
Like I said, and as far as this game goes, like I said, I'm not going to be watching the Panthers versus the Commanders, but I will say, I do see Jaden Daniels having another big game and just putting more stats on the board to, solidify his Rookie of the Year trophy that's going to be coming to him. Just to say,
yeah, I agree.
Just saying. So, I will say this though. I had a guy at work, my partner. Brent, when everybody got drafted this season, and Caleb Williams got taken by the Chicago Bears, Brent was really big on Jaden Daniels. He said that should have been the number 1 QB off the board. And then, I was like, well, this is that. Let me just say this. Brent, you were right.
I mean,
you were right.
I mean, you could. I think I'm at a stance where you could have went either way, because I do think still Caleb Williams is having a pretty good season considering. I know he's had some picks, but he's been slinging that goddamn ball.
He has, but
he really has. And then he just had 4 touchdowns the other day. Like,
Yeah,
I don't know,
but
man.
does he look more impressive than Jaden Daniels has
I
in
don't think so, but I
his
think that's
wins?
I don't think so. Especially in terms like a poise.
Yeah,
But I think that just comes down to experience on Jaden's side. Because like I said, Jaden played like 6 years of college
true. Well,
compared, and I think he's older
Caleb
about
didn't.
you.
I want to say Caleb stayed in an extra year too, didn't he?
Man, I don't know how far apart are they. Do you know in terms of age?
I'm not sure, but I kept thinking that
I'm gonna
Caleb was
look.
in an extra year. I kept thinking he was. Uh, on the board though this week, Seattle versus Atlanta. Now listen, Seattle just lost that game to the 49ers, right? We talked about them. Uh, the Falcons wound up beating the Panthers this past week, 38 to 20. I think it was 20. And the Falcons are on the, right now they're trying to keep themselves in that race down there in that NFC South, right? And Kirk Cousins last week against the Panthers threw for 225 yards, a touchdown, had a 97.2 rating. He, I will say, has this young team. He's the old man on here, and he's doing everything he's supposed to be doing. They're trying to keep themselves in games. Kyle Pitts, 3 receptions, 70 yards on 5 targets. I like to see the fact that they're using Kyle Pitts more, right? Drake London for the Falcons, 10 targets, 6 receptions, 74 yards, and a touchdown. Do you think the Falcons, I think they're playing at home in this game. Do you think the Falcons are going to have any problems with Seattle?
Uh, I don't think so.
The only
I mean,
reason
it
I
really
ask,
depends. It really depends if they can get that run game going. You know, they like to do that outside zone.
yeah,
That's their bread and butter. Like if they get that run game going, and then they get that pass game going with them, especially with Bison in the backfield,
yeah.
that's what they love to do. So I
Well,
mean,
speaking of him, this past week against the Panthers, 15 attempts,
yeah, 95 yards.
95 yards,
Yep, two
uh,
touchdowns.
6.3 yards per carry, right? So here's the deal. It was against the Panthers. I think that the Seattle Seahawks defense is just a little bit tougher and will probably cause more problems. I don't know if he gets 95 yards in a game, but you never know. Uh, one of the things about this team is, like I said, they are very young. Tyler Algier had 18 attempts, 105 yards, 5.8 yards per carry, and a touchdown for the Falcons. And
It's the same game.
Yes, the same game.
Damn, they was going crazy then
The
in the run
same
game.
game,
They
right?
did it again. They did it again, man.
Yeah, and so, you know,
Pretty
I
impressive.
think I think the thing about it is that you have to hope that as time goes on, they get used to this. Kirk gets used to this offense, and it seems like he's kind of settled in a little bit right now, connecting with his players, making sure he knows the offense, which I know he will. He's a certified pro, but they got the ball moving in the right direction down there in Atlanta, right?
Man, they kind of like the poor man's they like the poor man's Detroit Lions, low key.
A little bit.
That's
The
kind of
one,
what they are, like
yeah,
literally.
the one thing that's
Crazy.
or the one team that's going in the wrong direction because they started off 3-0 and now they've lost the last 3 games in a row. The Seattle Seahawks and Geno Smith, this last game, I mean, I don't know,
Yeah, he didn't
man.
look good.
He
He didn't look too good.
no, he didn't look too good. Uh, he's averaging 296.3 yards per game. That's first in the league, right? But he's making some bad errors, at certain times. I want to say he's got 6 touchdowns and 6 interceptions as well, just like Mahomes on the season.
Yeah, he's just got more yards.
Yeah, Tyler Lockett has 8 targets this season, 4 receptions, and that was just this past game. 8 targets, 4 receptions, 65 yards, and a touchdown. Not bad, right? It wasn't great, but it wasn't bad. But the problem is that they're not. They make too many mistakes to actually keep themselves in these games. DK Metcalf, I'm sorry. This dude needs to step up. 11 targets last week, 3 receptions. I want to see he had 48 yards. I think he did. I
I
want to
ain't gonna
say,
lie. Man, I ain't gonna lie though. I was seeing some of them passes getting thrown at him, and I was just like,
well, true.
"Eh."
Yeah, but some of these, he's got to catch. The ones
I mean, I get that.
like the one where he's trying to catch it on the sideline and it hits him in the hands and he drops it. Come on now, you know, I
Okay, like that. The one you talking about, are you talking about the one where he was in the end zone
yeah, not that
for the
one.
half?
No, 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 no. This was in the
That was
same.
unfortunate.
Yeah,
That was unfortunate too, because I was like, damn, he was right there.
yeah.
Like that was. I think that was just an unfortunate play right there. That should have
Um,
been a touchdown.
so the Seahawks have got to get it together, right? And they're on the road to play the Falcons. I don't know if they're going to win this game because the Falcons are clicking right now. They are clicking right now. And I think that they're getting it together. And that stadium is going to be rocking down there in Atlanta. It's going to be rocking.
And I don't know. DK not having a bad season though. He's got
No,
469 yards,
he's not having a bad
uh,
season. But when they
two
play these
touchdowns.
when they play these bigger teams, these last 3 games, these teams that have been in the playoffs or very competitive, he's not played very well against those guys as far as timely receptions, the things that, hey, don't drop that pass. We need this first down right now, and he drops the pass. I know he's a bigger guy. I know they're going to let him get away with a little bit more, but that's the name of the game. Miami's going to be playing Indianapolis this week. From what I understand, Anthony Richardson he will be starting in this game, and I don't think Tua will be starting in the game. So I don't know what's going on with Tua. I'm hoping this dude does retire. He does decide to retire.
Look, that's great, and I wish him the best. Here's the thing: what I'm hoping for. I'm hoping they are so bad and they are so trash that they trade Tyreek Hill back to the Kansas City Chiefs and bring him home, just like Devontae Adams went home with Aaron Rodgers. Why not? Go ahead, put him back with Mahomes.
Hey,
Hey,
I
hold on,
believe
don't do that. You negative. You spread negativity. We
I'm
all
not
about positive energy. Positive
wow.
energy only.
Really?
Bring Tyreek Hill back home where he belongs. You know what's crazy? Real
What?
talk. He been posting like crazy on I think it was either Snap or Instagram. Chief stuff.
Well,
Talking about he was like, what did he say? He said the greatest quarterback wide receiver duo ever with him and Mahomes and shit. What? And it's just a bunch of Chief stuff, bro. He was doing it all day during the trade rumors and shit. He was doing it all day. I'm just like,
look,
hell yeah, come on home, man.
Miami's not going to do it because they're going to want somebody to take all that money that they're paying Tyreek. They're going to want somebody to take most of that off of their hands, and they're not going to get it. The Chiefs are not going to do it. They just gave him that
I don't
fucking
know.
new contract too. They're not going to do it.
I know for this year, his money would only be like a couple million or something like that.
Okay.
Like for this year.
Yeah.
But then you would have to worry about the next couple. But I mean,
Exactly.
bring his ass on. Because look, here's the thing: Rasheed Rice is gonna be out for a while. We know that he's gonna be out for a while. He still got
Yes.
the suspension pending. So we got that to hold on to as well as far as how long he probably won't play till like week 5 of 2000 the next season.
Man, listen, I'm going to be honest with
It'll
you.
be it'll be like week 5, week 6 at least. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna be out for a while. So
He might miss the whole.
bring. I don't think he's gonna miss the whole season.
Let me tell you something.
Not next season. Not next season.
Hold
no.
on,
This
listen.
season, yeah.
Listen to what I'm saying. This man also had to have surgery on his PLC.
I know. I seen it.
The
I know. I seen
post-lateral,
it.
the post-lateral corners. When I used to do all this stuff as far as X-ray and the MRIs, and let me tell you something. When they said that from the very first MRI, how It was inconclusive because of the swelling, and they couldn't get a good picture. From the very jump, I said, this is bad. I said it was bad. I knew it was not good. They tried to make it seem like, oh, it could be. And I said it then.
I think he'll be. I think he could be back like mid to late ish, like before like week 10. I could see it.
There's a 15 to 20% chance he may not ever be the same player. There is a 15 to 20% chance he may not ever be the same player.
Well, I'm not going to even put that in my head.
But I'm just saying it's
positive energy only.
You have to keep in mind that he's human. He's
like
human.
I said, for now, you bring Tyreek Hill as back to Kansas City.
It. If they do that,
he's coming back to Kansas City. He's coming back to Kansas City.
Yeah,
I don't know when.
To go in the Ring of Honor.
No. I have a feeling it's gonna happen, man.
You got some inside
news. Hey, hold on. You know what's crazy?
What?
You know who else we did? You know who else we said wasn't coming back to Kansas City? I'll wait.
Who? I didn't say he was never coming back. Kareem? No. I've been holding on to that jersey.
You lying?
No. I said,
y'all.
No.
He is full of it.
No. I said when I said it, I said at that year when I thought he may come, I said I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think it's going to happen that year. Now I did not say
I'm not buying it.
Okay, you can not buy it, but I'm gonna tell you,
he is full of it.
I never got rid of that jersey for a reason. I always
that don't mean
hope.
I wouldn't have got rid of it either.
No, and I've worn it before that.
What that mean? That don't
I'm
mean
just
nothing.
saying. I was never giving up on him. He's still my favorite.
If Kareem can come back,
there's a difference. There's a difference.
No, it ain't.
It's called money. Money. That's a big difference.
They can take that on. What you mean? It'll be the next year.
No, they won't be able to do it. Who they gotta sign next year, Mike?
What you mean?
They gotta sign 2 players next year.
Man, look, dump, and you know what's crazy? Here's the thing, though. They can also restructure Juwan Taylor's contract. That frees up $15 million in cap space. Did you know that?
I know that they can do that. But they're
going to. They're going to.
They may even trade Juwan Taylor.
I'm just saying, if we got to get rid of Juwan Taylor to get Tyreek Hill or whatever, you do it.
Listen.
Just saying, man. He coming back to Kansas City. Watch.
If he does, I'll be happy as hell.
Watch.
Right? Because I didn't want to lose him in the first place. But I don't think it will happen.
Who thought Devontae was going back to
I had a funny feeling. I didn't. I did. I had a funny feeling it was going to happen. And everybody kept saying Devontae's coming to Kansas City. I said, no, he's not. He's not.
No, because here's the thing. That is actually impossible.
Well, yeah,
because the Chiefs would have had to have somebody else take on that contract, or the Raiders would have had to do it. The Dolphins is a little different. Like, it's not the same. The money isn't the same.
No, it's
not.
As
far as like how it's structured.
But I also know Beach.
No.
I also know Beach is cheap. He's very cheap about certain shit, right? So all I'm gonna say is,
I don't think he wanted. I didn't see that happen.
So I'm going to just say this. I'm hoping that it can happen. If it does, I'll be very pleased, but I'm not going to hold my breath about Tyreek coming back, right? Let's get
back.
Let's get back on track. Oh, God, hell no. No, fuck no. Listen, I like Dan for what he did for us while he was there, but there's a reason why he's not.
Oh, just playing.
Okay. We've got a Monday night game, right? Monday night game, Baltimore versus Tampa Bay. I don't know if anybody else is kind of geeked.
I'm taking Tampa Bay on this one.
They're playing in Tampa Bay too.
I actually need Tampa Bay to win this game.
Listen,
they already there. Have you seen the nonsense?
Oh yeah,
I've been seeing. Man, first of all, they've been saying the Ravens all of a sudden is the best team in the league now because they've won 3 straight. After starting 0-2, and then they're talking about how they're better than the Chiefs, even though the Chiefs have beat them twice in this year alone. Like, and then they say, well, they only beat the Chiefs only beat them because of him stepping out of bounds. But I'm like, What? They barely beat the Bengals.
Yeah, I'm not
Literally.
buying that shit. Listen, I like the Ravens and the way they're constructed. I think they are a very dangerous team. Now, I don't think their defense is what it was last year, though. Their defense is not
I
as
think
good.
their defense is. I'm gonna be honest with you. Their defense is kind of cooked.
Yeah, I don't think
They
they're.
let they let they let the damn Bengals put. Now I get it. The Bengals have a pretty good offense,
They do have a pretty good
but
offense.
bro, you've had to put up 30+ points. I don't know, man. I don't get. I don't know. And then like I get that Derrick Henry's playing better in some ways because like
Yeah.
some of his numbers is kind of screwed because it's like he had that one big play that kind of put his yards up a lot at the end of the
Yeah,
game. Like for
yeah,
example,
exactly. Because
like you know what I'm
his
saying?
longest run that game was
And they making
his
it seem
longest.
like they making it.
Yeah, his longest run
That's what I'm
that game
saying.
up
Like
until that point was 7 yards, right? And then in
yeah, he only
overtime he was
had like
51
yeah,
yards.
exactly. That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. They
Uh,
making it seem like he just and he's balling, but at the same time, it's not like they making
yeah.
it seem like him and Lamar are just unstoppable. And I'm
Oh
like,
yeah.
bro,
Excuse me,
come on,
everybody.
bro. The Chiefs have had to deal with Derrick Henry before plenty of times. They know what they're doing, bro. I'm not. If we was to play them, if we had to play them in the Super Bowl tomorrow, I'm taking the Chiefs. It's not even close.
Well, here's the
So
deal: the Baltimore Ravens will be on the road to take on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and right now, the Tampa Bay
they stopping
Buccaneers
that offense.
are the Bucks stopping who's stopping whose offense. I'll put it like this: the Bucks are averaging
The
29.
Ravens. That's
I
what I'm
don't know.
saying. The Ravens. Their
I,
defense is bad.
Yeah, the Bucks are off. They're averaging 29.7 points per game, which is tied for second in the league, right?
That's what I'm saying.
Their third down conversion rate is fourth. They're fourth in the league, right? Uh, they are putting up points, right? Now the Ravens offense is averaging 29.5 points per game, which is tied for fourth, right? Or excuse me, they are fourth. Their third down conversion rate though is first. So on third down, they are the number one team in the league at converting third downs. This is going to be a good game. I really believe so. I think this is going to be a really good game. And here's the deal. They both have good aerial attacks, right? The one thing I will say though is that Baltimore is going to be going up against a team that has a pretty good defense, I think, in the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Derrick Henry last week against the Washington Commanders, 24 attempts, 132 yards, 5.5 yards per carry, 2 touchdowns, right? But we all, like I said from the week before, Washington's run defense was not very good at all. I think they were ranked 32nd in the
And
league.
here's the problem. And here's the problem people got to keep in mind too. As soon as you take that run game away and you make the Ravens one dimensional,
And they have to
that's the
pass.
problem. And they have to pass, especially if they're down.
Yeah.
Because that's when Lamar starts forcing shit. That's always been the thing with Lamar. He starts
AFC
feeling like
Championship
he has to
game.
force
AFC
things. It's
Championship game.
prime example.
Yeah.
And look, I like Lamar. I'd be defending him all the time, especially when it comes to Joe Burrow, bro.
Yeah.
I'm not. We're not even gonna get into that. But still,
Yeah.
that's
Lamar
the thing.
Jackson, Lamar, like you said, the running game, right? Lamar Jackson this past week against the Washington Commanders, 11 attempts, 40 yards, 3.6 yards per carry. Uh, that's a double-headed dragon they got back there, right? But again, they played the Commanders, who are not very good against the run, right? This team that they're getting ready to play, and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, they can score and they can play defense. Lamar's going to have to pass the ball a lot more, I think. And this past game against the Washington
It's gonna have
Commanders,
to be on point.
yeah, I think he passed for 323 yards. He had a touchdown. He had an interception. Had a 114.7 QB rating. Right?
Did he have a fumble that game or no?
No, that was the game against the Bengals. He had that fumble, but he picked it back up. Right? Uh, but yeah, he did. He did play very well passing the ball. Zay Flowers still balling this year. 9 targets, 9 receptions, 132 yards. That was against the Commanders. He had a very good game. He's been playing very well this season. Uh, Rashad Bateman, 4 targets, 4 receptions, 71 yards. So to me, He's got a couple of young receivers that he can go to, right? Uh, you're going to have, you know, a matchup that they're going to try to exploit, right, with those two young receivers. But they also have a core of tight ends for the Ravens who play very well. Isaiah Likely, Mark Andrews. Excuse me. Mark Andrews last week against the Commanders, 4 targets, 3 receptions, 66 yards. And to me, he's just now coming back into kind of, into form, right? Uh, I want to say that they have got to make sure that they keep an eye on him at all times, him and Isaiah Likely, because Lamar's, that's his safety blanket when he gets into a little trouble. He looks for those tight ends, right? Uh, Going to the other side, Baker Mayfield last week did not play great, but he did get the win. 4 touchdowns, 3 interceptions though, threw for 325 yards. Now, I ain't saying that he's playing great, but he is getting wins. It was a divisional game. It was against the Saints. Look, I hope, because I got some Tampa Bay Buccaneer fans out there, buddies of mine. I hope that they can continue doing this and they give themselves an opportunity to get into the playoffs again. The receiving core is still very good with Chris Godwin and Mike Evans. Godwin had 13 targets last week against the Saints, 11 receptions, 125 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Baker Mayfield
Bro,
needs what?
I think he's like top. He could be top three in MVP right now, easy.
Baker?
Bro, he's got 15 touchdowns, 5 interceptions, and he.
Yeah, he's playing well. You froze up on me, Mike. Where'd you go? What happened? Okay,
Yeah,
we had a little technical
you
difficulty there.
froze.
Yeah, well, you froze on my end, so I was like, "What the hell?" So,
Man,
so
I blame the goddamn Bengals and Raiders and Bronco fans, the Donkey fans for
they're trying
messing up
to
our internet,
they're
man.
trying to impede our progress. So you were saying Baker
49ers
Mayfield.
too.
You were saying Baker Mayfield is having a good season. He could be in the MVP consideration.
He's leading the league in touchdowns.
Yeah.
He's got 15, only 5 picks. He's got almost 1,500 yards. I mean, hey man.
Yeah. He
And this is
can.
why this is part of the reason why I need Mahomes to go for a 5 tutty game against the 49ers in usual fashion.
Well, we're gonna
I'm
see.
being so serious.
We're gonna see. Uh, I hope he can. I hope he can go out there against the 49ers and put up some numbers. But the main number I care about is the ones in the W and the L column. That's the only ones I really
Man,
give a fucking.
speaking of that real quick, because I've been talking to Chiefs fans, they've been losing their minds about us not getting a damn receiver and
I
trading for
wanted us to
anybody
get
yet.
somebody, but I'm not gonna
Here's the thing.
fucking.
Okay, so bro, some Chiefs fans just be doing too much. I'm not even gonna lie because they losing their mind talking about uh Mahomes is not playing like he's in his prime and da 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 da. Yeah, we winning. What you mean? Yeah, we winning. That's the only thing that matters, bro.
Yeah,
You
that's the
think
problem.
Mahomes? Would you? Do you think Mahomes would rather have great stats in L's or stats and W's? Which do you think he
Yeah,
prefers?
I mean, are we this damn spoiled? Would we forget what it was like
Yes,
back in 2000 and what
yes.
2012,
You know how
2000?
many teams will? Yeah, you know how many teams would love to be in our position right now?
Yeah,
Are you being for real?
we've got 3 Super Bowls within the last what? How many years now?
And here's the
5.
thing. Here's the thing. I think because I was just reading today earlier because Mahomes been talking about his footwork.
Yeah,
So he already said today. What he said today? of this bye week they've had, he thinks he's solid now. He's went back to his fundamentals. He's been working on it,
Yeah.
and he said, he's locked in now as far as his footwork and all that kind of stuff.
Good.
So this is why I say expect Mahomes to torch the 49ers in usual fashion. I actually think that's going to happen.
So here's
the thing: the last time they played, not in the Super Bowl, in the regular season when Juju was on the team,
Yeah.
Juju cooked them.
Yeah.
I want people to remember this.
Yeah, that's
Juju
true.
had a damn good game that game, and he was cooking.
So let me ask you this. Because you brought it up about the trades and wide receivers, here's my question to you. Do you think the Jets getting Devontae Adams is going to make a difference?
No. Because receiver was not really their issue.
It really wasn't. It really wasn't.
You got Garrett Wilson, bro.
Yeah. It wasn't. I don't think that's the problem.
It's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing that they did it. I think it helps.
I think it helps.
But I don't think. Yeah, it doesn't.
I think they. I really be honest with you. I think they need another tight end. I think they need a very good tight end to kind of.
You know what I think? They need a better offensive line.
And that too.
How about that?
Yeah, that too.
And they don't run the ball enough for me either.
No, they don't. Not with them two
young
guys back
bro.
there. And
I don't understand.
The other thing was, I also thought it was a real fucking, how should I say, a real bitch ass move because the Bills did go after Amari Cooper. And let me tell you why I said that.
What you mean?
Well, just listen to me. They knew that the Chiefs had been talking about getting Amari Cooper if there was any possibility of them going after a wide receiver. That's how.
Hold on, though. That's actually not true.
That's from what I heard.
Nate Taylor. Well, hold on, because Nate Taylor literally said they had no involvement with Amari Cooper at all. They never talked to him. They never tried to make a trade.
If that's the case,
none of that.
I will apologize for that, but y'all still snitches.
You know why I think though? No, seriously, you know why I think that is though? And well, here's the thing.
But
the
why not though? But why not? Well,
so the Chiefs have 8 picks.
I get that, but that's not. You do need another receiver.
No, I agree. But here's the thing. I think so. The Chiefs have 8 picks. I don't think because I think they did. What was it? A pick swap or something like that. Okay, so we all know Reed is big on because we talked about this. He wants dudes that know this. It's not so much the player. It's about you being reliable enough to know the system, and can you come in and just do what I need you to do? That's really because think about it.
Well,
when we got Juju,
they fell with Sky.
you get what I'm saying though, and I'm really referring to like them making trades and stuff like that, not necessarily like players that they draft, right?
Got you.
Like
I understand.
Players mid-season coming in. You know what I'm saying? And they tried it before. They tried to bring in Kadarius. They tried to bring in. Well, Mecole was already in the system. He already knew the system, so I ain't gonna count on that. But I think the thing is he's older, and I'm gonna be honest. I don't think they wanted to give up a 3rd round pick. And let's be honest with you, the Browns would have probably asked the Chiefs for more because it's the Chiefs,
possibly
compared to everybody else. You know what I'm saying?
I can't say you're wrong there. I cannot say you're wrong.
So the names, they're still saying that the Chiefs could possibly still make a trade. The names that are buzzing right now that I actually wouldn't mind is Deontay Johnson and Darius Slay.
Slay at corner?
No, Darius
Slayton.
What's his name? Slayton. Yeah, that's
from the Giants.
From the Giants. Yeah. You know what's crazy? He leads like I think he's like one of the top receivers in the league right now in terms of separation, like yards of separation too.
I would not mind.
So like, I wouldn't mind either one of those dudes, honestly.
Yeah.
I think Johnson's a little harder because of the money, but Slayton,
the money situation. Yeah, Slayton you can.
Slayton. Yeah, you could easily do Slayton, and then like I'm gonna be honest, because you know what's funny about the Bills
What?
when they made that trade, they immediately released MVS.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
you know what's funny? You know what's funny in the chat? I'm in a Chiefs chat on Twitter. Everybody was like, "Oh, I hope y'all are prepared." But you know what's
Uh,
crazy? Hey, I'll put it this way: if the Chiefs were to make a trade for Slayton, for example, right?
yeah.
They get him, and let's say they bring on MVS as well.
Okay.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I actually wouldn't mind that.
Let
I
me
really
ask.
wouldn't,
Hey,
because
look at
now
this.
you got four. Now you got four burners,
True. True. Now,
and
let me
MVS has
ask you
made some
this.
big plays for us too.
Let me ask
So
you this. Wouldn't it be like the most ironic Buffalo Bill kind of shit to happen though? Is if we were to meet the Bills
I already
in
know
the
what you're gonna say.
playoffs and MVS is on our team, and then MVS catches game winner to put the Bills out.
You know what's funny? Somebody literally said that on Twitter. They said the exact same thing. He was like, what did he say? He said
Oh,
the Bills just released MVS, and they couldn't even do nothing, and then went and got Amari Cooper, and then
wow.
the Chiefs gonna pick him up, and Mahomes gonna win his fourth ring with MVS on a game winner drive or some shit like that.
Oh shit. Oh my god.
So
Oh shit, that
that was
shit's
funny.
hilarious. Well, look,
And you know who else? You know who else got
I
dropped? He's not a veteran, but Terrace
who?
Marshall Jr. got cut as well from the 49ers.
Really? I didn't see
Yeah,
that one.
sure did.
I did not see
Yup,
that one.
sure did.
Well, we'll see.
I was just like, eh,
We'll
I don't
see.
know if the Chiefs want to do projects anymore.
They may not this year. This is
Probably
the
not.
they're looking to try
Yeah,
to just
exactly.
win this year. This is the three-peat
But
attempt.
I'm actually intrigued with the Darius Slayton one though.
We'll see. They've made moves with the Giants
I would like
before.
that one.
Yeah, they made moves
Yeah.
with the Giants before. So we'll kind of keep that in mind or keep an eye
Could
on
you
that.
imagine? Could you imagine they get him and then they still bring back Hollywood and Hollywood still comes?
Oof.
And
Yeah.
then you got, and I'm telling you, I think Worthy, I really do think Worthy is going to have to do what Rasheed Rice did last year, but even a little bit more.
Yeah, the problem
Because
is he's not big. I don't
no, I'm
like.
not talking about in terms of I'm not talking about in terms of style. I'm just talking about in terms of usage. Like they're going to have to
Okay.
start actually throwing to him,
Yeah.
not him in the slot and all that. I'm not talking about that.
Yeah, I
But
was gonna say
man,
I
I'm
don't know if
telling
I
you,
agree.
that dude is open
Oh, I've seen it.
all
I was
the
watching the play
time,
today, and I was
and
like, this dude was
he
wide
should
the
have
fuck
like
open.
500 yards. He should easily have like 500 yards receiving at least minimum,
Yeah, he was wide the fuck open in that game I was watching today. I was like, holy shit, that's 3 times he's
bro,
wide open. But
wide open,
it happens. That's what
cooking
happens when you
dude.
have no protection on the edge, right? So, listen,
Yeah,
we were going to talk about some more games, but to be honest with you, those games, yeah,
we ain't worried about him.
we're not really worried about them.
And I'm gonna
So,
be honest with you, and just real quick, and I know probably the people gonna want to know, Amari Cooper going to the Bills. It's a good move. Do I think this puts them over the Chiefs? Hell no.
no.
Because if you wasn't doing nothing and you wasn't beating the Chiefs when you had Stephon Diggs and y'all had a significantly better team overall in what like 2020, 21, 22 ish,
Yeah.
they had a way better team overall and you still couldn't beat the Chiefs? No, not
No,
happening.
I don't think it is.
I don't see it. No, not
Well,
even close.
that is
So
going to do it for our show. Uh, we want to thank everybody that has came through, checked out our channel, even subscribed and watched more of our content. We appreciate everybody. And we hope you guys come back for more of the Cave Cast because we do enjoy doing this show. And again, we try to put out content every week. The last video we put it out, you know, it was our it was our opportunity to try to get back in that mode of recording, editing, and putting out good content. And I think we succeeded with that. So we want to thank you all. And if you're new to the channel, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and we hope you guys come back and watch more of our content. Even go back. Go back and check some of our older content that we've got. We've got some good stuff up, and we think that you'll enjoy it. So, for myself and Big Mike, this is the Cavecast, and we want to say thank you guys, and we'll see you next week.